Welcome to 5 Element Friday! You get an element, and 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 you get an element.
Everybody gets an element!
It's all 5 elements. And it's Friday. Welcome back to 5 Element Fridays. My name is Jay, and I have Lita here in the studio in the world headquarters of the Inspired Action Podcast.
Today we're continuing our conversation about goal setting and the 5 elements. And today we're focusing on wood.
Finally, wood does not like to wait for anything at any time for anyone. So I'm glad we're doing wood today.
Yes, unlike waters who actually kind of like anticipation. And well, most of them don't mind waiting unless they have wood second, and then their wood might kick in. But woods are incredibly impatient.
What?
In general.
Let's go.
But this time we made you wait until the end of our goal setting series on the 5 Element Fridays. And do you know why, Jay?
Because you're a meanie?
Because yeah. No,
Because you wanted to torture us? Tease us? Ridicule us? Any of those? Ding, 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 ding.
No.
Why? I'll play along. Why did you make wood wait?
Because wood goal setting is what wood's asset is.
What about my what?
Yeah. Not
What if what?
asset.
Asset. Okay.
Asset. That's exactly why we saved the best for last.
Oh, well, that's good.
And so let's get started then. Woods are goal setters and strategists. They're the world's strategists.
Yay. So we need to find and get in touch with our wood element. It's inside all of us. And then you'll become a good goal setter. And oh, yeah, it would be nice to actually achieve those goals.
Wood isn't just about setting the goals. It's about the execution of the strategies and plans so the goal can be achieved.
Yeah, and sometimes you have to need to break that down into micro goals. You might have a big goal and then an obstacle, or remove that obstacle, smaller goals, even micro goals to keep you moving along. And you know, what's the point of playing the game if you're not going to win? So the micro goals might help a little bit, so it kind of eases that along if you're not in that win-win situation. But seriously, even if you have wood last, you have the ability to set goals, win at those goals, achieve those goals, even the micro goals, and guess what? You have the ability to strategize.
You know, Jay, I'm the perfect example. I love a good strategy, and I have wood last.
You know, sometimes, Lita, in a strange way, our last element is the easiest element because we don't have anything messing it up. There's no drama, and so you can be very good with strategies. You just don't make a big deal about it.
Yes. So let's not think about whether we have wood or not. Let's think we have all 5 elements in us. And there's not one that's more important than another. And if you take away any of your 5 elements, you'll weaken the whole thing.
It's like that theory of the weakest link in the chain.
Yeah. So think about it. You could have the best plan ever, but if your heart's not in it, your fire element is weak, and all the planning in the world won't make it happen. So even if you're wood, you still need fire.
Yes.
So the woods out there need their fire on board, or it won't happen. So we really need all 5 elements to do anything in this world.
And I totally get that, Lita. I think you need all of your elements to really rock it in the world. But today, let's talk about wood being the element of goals, goal setting, and achieving. But I know from a personal experience that we can struggle. Woods can struggle. I know we're not perfect. So let's talk about that a little bit, the struggle of the wood.
You admit you're not perfect? I thought you were perfect.
No.
Oh, come on. You're perfection.
Just born perfect.
Okay, you're born perfect. How's that? All right, well, I do agree, even though I know all woods are perfect, but they can struggle in this arena even though it's their specialty. And I know it's hard to believe.
I think it's kind of possible. You know, you can't say we don't have healthy egos, at least the majority of us. Well, at least I do.
You do. And I'm so happy you do, because woods who like themselves are the best and kindest leaders. And the only reason they struggle with their frustration is when things don't go their way.
What? Frustration makes our lives seem stagnant, where it's like we're not moving forward. We're kind of stuck. And that, to a wood person who has it first or second, is like the worst.
So when things are not going your way, you're in danger of stopping, just abandoning the project altogether. I know you hate the word quit, so I'm not really going to say that
I
word.
don't even use that word. I like to say readjust, refocus, reassess. I don't like the Q word. Q word to me is like the F word.
You can call it whatever you want, but I like to say woods take their bats and balls and go home when they don't like the game anymore.
You know, we don't usually like to lose. And when mostly it's about, for me, maybe like if they're cheating or they're not really being fair or they're being mean to other players. We don't like to play with people who are doing that. And, you know, we don't want to play with sore losers or sore winners for that matter.
Yeah. And so in general, woods can look at some of these issues not feeling like it's winnable. And then how do you stay in the game? Or feeling like it's unfair. And then how do you deal with that?
Well, not well. We just hate injustice, and that definitely happens in the sports arena.
It's the worst. And the other issue is when you're doing too much. Woods get easily overwhelmed.
What?
Yes, and they work best when they have people they can delegate tasks to, because usually they have quite a to-do list of tasks, and they have a very high bar.
I don't think I have that high a bar. It's just perfection. That's all.
That's a pretty high bar.
That's just the way it is.
And we all know that perfection is often nearly impossible.
I'm just not even listening to that. I don't even hear those words.
So delegating to anyone who isn't uber capable is really tricky for a wood person.
I think for me, I have that thought, at least when I was younger, that I might as well just do it myself. I can do it faster, quicker. I know what I want. I know what's best, like those kind of things. But as you mature, I can definitely see the adjustment when you have people you can delegate to.
Yeah, it's a quandary and can really get in the way of your wood effectiveness. Sometimes you just have to trust that it's going to be okay, even if the person you delegate to doesn't do it in the way you would do it.
Yeah, that's a tough adjustment, but it's definitely possible. And I also think another challenge that wood people might have is starting too many projects and making just, I hate to say it, too many goals.
Yes, and then that dilutes the possible outcomes. So by spreading yourself too thin, you may not be able to fulfill any of the goals.
Wah, wah, wah. And then the frustration comes again.
Yes, and so what's a wood to do? First, it's important to prioritize your goals and put the ones that will bring you a sense of fulfillment at the top of the list.
What? I can't seem to manage and tend to all my little duckling projects all at once?
No, and you also don't need to swoop in and save the day all the time.
I know, that is a hero thing that a lot of wood people have. They want to come in and save the day.
And if you want to complete your projects, you got to look at it differently.
Yeah, it's not about having too many good ideas. Not all of them will benefit me or those around me. So you have to be maybe a little more selective.
Remember, you can bench some of those ideas for a rainy day.
Oh boy, was that a sports reference?
I think that was a sports reference.
That was pretty good for you. I'll give that a B+.
I don't know. Do football players make goals?
Oh my God.
Or is that soccer?
That's touchdowns for football, but they do make field goals.
Oh, there you go.
Yes. And yes, soccer kicks a goal. Yes.
So I used to play soccer. I actually know that. But anyway, so less is more for woods. How about doing what truly inspires you, even if the inspiration only lasts a short time, and then delegate when you're getting bored and trust that whatever that person does is going to be great.
I get it. I hear you. I think it's really about surrounding yourself with people who share your vision and share your enthusiasm and want the energy that you give them to motivate them and to move them further along.
Yeah, and that's a win-win if I ever heard one.
Yeah, that is a good win-win, and that's a perfect place to end today for 5-Element Friday. So get out there and accomplish something. Set some goals, even if they're micro goals, and get your wood on.
Yes, and have fun while you're at it. That's wood too.
Yay! Find the win-win.